वहां पे देखिए तो पूनम सिंह, वहां का वीडियो नहीं आ रहा है, वहां का देखिए तो, वहां पे वीडियो ऑफ है क्या, देखिए तो। तो आ नहीं रहा है उनका। आ रहा है, इनका स्क्रीन पे नहीं दिख रहा है ना, स्क्रीन पे आना चाहिए ना। फोकसिंग ऑन कॉम्पिटेंसी बेस्ड एजुकेशन है। इनका वीडियो नहीं आ रहा भाई।
हेलो,
नहीं उसका इसकी आवाज, इसका वीडियो क्यों नहीं आ रहा है।
am I audible?
एक बार ऑन करके ऑफ कर दिया उसको। ठीक।
Okay. Welcome to you all, the participants of this in-house training who are either offline or online. As you know, it is the second session of today and the topic is focusing on competency-based education. Before we start the training session, I would like to introduce guests who are present on the stage. There is Mrs. Poonam Singh from DAB Bhagalpur. She is the resource person for this session. The topic is focusing on competency-based education. One more personality is present on the stage. She is Mrs. Shivani Sharma from Techno Mission School. I would like to request Mrs. Shivani Sharma to honor the resource person of this very session, Mrs. Poonam Singh. Okay, now without being late, I would like to request resource person of this session, Mrs. Shivani Singh. Oh, sorry, Poonam Singh. One is the topic. Which one is the topic? हो गया है।
अच्छा यहाँ पे ये वाला कॉम्पिटेंसी जस्ट क्लिक कर दिया। Open. Just a minute. Share the screen.
Share the screen.
No.
Stop share.
नहीं करना। न्यू शेयर करने की नहीं बताते हैं ना। न्यू शेयर बजाएंगे यहाँ पे।
मिसेस पूनम सिंह, ये क्या पढ़ाती है? पूनम सिंह, ये आपके स्कूल की है?
नहीं, ये दीदी की है।
अच्छा।
हमारे स्कूल में भी इंग्लिश वाली थी।
अच्छा।
ये दीदी वो से हमारे कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग में बहुत बार और एडोलेसेंट एडवोकेसी में।
अब एक चीज फायदा क्या मालूम है कि दीदी, अब नाम के साथ आ रहा है पर हेमंत कुमार लिखा हुआ था।
Okay. Good afternoon, each and everyone present here as offline as well as online. And okay, good afternoon, everyone. I welcome everyone to this session focusing on competency-based education. The first thing is why this topic has been taken as a training for the teachers. So why the need has come? And our learning objective is that we have to implement, so we have to know about what it is and how we are going to implement it. So first thing, when we focus on the today's teaching and learning process, what we see, what happens in our learning process, why the need has come for it. So let's discuss on this. So what we see, a student comes to the class, first thing. The student enters the class along with the textbook, and then we as a teacher, what we do, we translate all the syllabus and we complete the syllabus within the time framework, and we prepare them only to pass the examination, and the test, the date of the exam, the schedule of the exams, they are already fixed beforehand, and we take the examination in our scheduled time and date. Irrespective, we never bothered whether our student is prepared for it, whether the student has learned what we have taught, and we take the test. And we expected every student to even perform the test. And this is what happened. The researcher, the education in the field of research and all, they came to know that students get the degree, they pass every grade, they get the certificate, they go to the next class. But they don't know how to survive in the society. That is the researcher had survey. They have taken many tests and all, and they have been continuing surveying, and they came to know that we need some competency in the student part. They are only passing the grade, but they are not competent enough. And this is the reason our Ministry of Education has taken under consideration and taken a major initiative on this part. And we, along with some education team, and they started a national education change in the education policy. That is, everybody of us knows about the NEP 2020. And NEP 2020 focused on the competence-based education, and this is the reason we are going to implement it, and so the training is required for each and everyone. And moreover, I hope and that everybody of us knows about the activities-based calendar issued for class 10, 1 to 10 or even 12, which is based on the competence-based education system. And the requirement in that is also not only for the teachers or the student, the parents also has to participate in that, because students are not always with us. They are in the house also. And nowadays parents are concerned about the child also. So they should also be connected for fulfilling the needs of the students to make the student competent. And so before I begin the session about this competency, what is competency-based education and all, let us have some ice-breaking questions for you all, which will stimulate the mind of everyone. Because stimulation is very much essential before starting of anything of the mind. Slide नहीं दिख.
Just
सब technical, not नहीं हो रहा.
yeah. Mouse click करेंगे.
Now you can.
ये वाला बटन mouse का.
Okay. Now see your questions on the board. You can see the question. Michelle was born on December 28th, but her birthday always falls in the summer. How is this possible? Who will answer it? If you, yes, sir. Anyway, sir, if answer is not the important thing over here, even if you don't know the answer, doesn't matter. Actually, these activities, see, one thing is very clear, that when I put this question on the screen, I hope everybody has thought something in their own way. Some logical thinking has developed in everyone. I hope so. And so if we do in the class before starting any topic or anything, it will help the student to stimulate the mind, brain, and they will be ready for the study. That is what I did. This was nothing related to competency, actually. Okay. Now see, what type of classroom we need in the teaching learning process. It is visible, I think. do a classroom at a present scenario is this or not? And do we want this type of classroom or we want to change it? This is a question. You can see in the scene 1, what you see in the scene 1. Yes, sir.
The teacher is going on speaking and the student is standing silently.
Yeah.
She is thinking that I am speaking too much and making him understand. But the student is thinking what he is telling is the fact here.
This is a fact also. We do this. We agree, sir. Not every time, but sometimes it happens. And so what is that? Teacher is self-accomplished and okay. And the student is just a listener. Whether he understood, nobody bothers. And now in scene 2, a child with multiple dreams, he enters the class. And what we are doing, we are stuffing load of knowledge in his brain. And suddenly you can see he has passed the exam. He got the degree. But he is not having any life skill to use it in the real life situation. This is what our traditional system of education gives us. This is not my statement, it is a research of some educationist. So do you want to change it or not? So for this change, only competency-based education has been established or issued by the government through our curriculum. And the curriculum has already been developed also. We are only going to simply implement it. So National Curriculum Framework, have you gone through it or not? What is it based on? National Framework curriculum on the framework, it is based on to recognize repose the inner abilities of the child, his own ability, which we are ignoring. The child, so it's our duty to develop the faith of a child in their own abilities. What they know, they should understand. And they should have faith in himself that I can do it. That is what is the competency-based education leads us. So it's not, so how to do it? We should give them a separate room. We should leave them independent. That is what is the meaning of developing faith in himself. And this develops independent thinking, and your critical thinking of the student develops. This is what is the scenario and how this is possible. This is only possible through competency-based education. This is what a theory is based on the competency. Now, the question is, what is competency? Every time we are talking about competency, but what actually competency is? Is it, anybody can, what do you think competency is?
Hello. Competency means to judge ourselves in a competitive way, to fight with ourselves and others for the improvement.
For the improvement.
To look for betterment, etc.
Okay, sir. Actually, let's see. Competency is nothing, it's just a set of skills. Everybody knows what a skill is, the way to do. It is skill used in a real life situation. If I have a skill, but I'm not able to use it, then I'm not competent. I'm only a skilled. This is the difference between competent and a skilled. It depends on the knowledge, ability, and skills. Together makes a competent person. And if you are competent, you can do any work. You can stand anywhere in any adverse situation. That is what our aim is, to make, develop, imbibe in the student, so that he will never feel stressed or frustrated, even if he's not able to achieve what he wants. That is what is the important of the competency-based education. And in see, one more thing is there. Everything is in the circular of your competency-based given by CBSE. Every learning outcome, every activities, everything is there. Only we have to implement. That is only the thing left with us. Everything is already been done. And now the most important part is competence-based education drives the student to learn by demonstrating. How the student will demonstrate? How the student will demonstrate what they have learned? That is important. How student will demonstrate? Anyone? How they can, because whatever they have learned, it should be demonstrated.
It should be the quality of the teachers. First of all,
yeah.
They must judge the ability, whatever the teachers taught them according to their teaching. So they must be find out on the basis of their talent, on the basis of their ability, on the basis of their credential, whatever they have got from the side of the teachers.
Okay, so well said, sir. Now see demonstrations. The students has learned. Now in competency-based education, that is only the important, that the student has to show also whether they have learned or not. That is demonstration. So how they will show? They can show by role play, drama, essay, by writing, by video, audio, any way they can show you. Or it depends on a teacher to make the evaluation tool so that you can understand whether the student has learned or not. That is important in this competency-based education. Then it's not only they demonstrate, they should apply in the real life situation also. That is also one part, application of the learned part. So how the student apply? Like, since I'm in a maths faculty, I'm relating with the maths something, don't mind. So if a student is learning some formulas and all we teach in the junior classes, and where they can apply? They can apply in preparing the result spreadsheet. They can analyze the data. And I think everybody is working under the spreadsheet, and you find that we need the application of the formulas while preparing the results and all, anything. So for compiling and all, this is your application. So if a student is ready to apply, if is able to apply, then we say that the student is competent. That is what is the meaning of competent. He will not only learns, he learns and he's being skilled, and then he should be able to apply. That is important in the, and this is the reason we say the competency-based learning is based on outcome-based approach. Outcome, everything is dependent on the outcome. Learning is based on outcome. So we have to fix the, and next I will show you, I have. See a best example of competency-based education. Teachers, we are no more, we are not acting like a dictator in this new education system. We only guide. We are the creator, and most important part is evaluator. And what type of evaluator we are? Because students are different. Students are different. If you have 40 students in the class, every student have different ability. Every students are different. So the evaluator, it is a very important role for the evaluation. We should evaluate each child in a separate way. We are not evaluating with the same question paper or anything else, with the same measurement. That is what they are. And now see as a driving, and the most important here is the learning objective in the beginning. what is here? What we want to teach the student in the scene. Here, your motto is the student should know driving or anyone. It's not a matter of competencies based, it's nothing, everything related to a school based only. It can be happened anywhere. So if my learning objective is driving a car or driving, I should know driving. When I will feel my student is competent, if he shows me the certificate of driving license, no, then he is not competent. He is only having a degree of driving. He is able to drive on the road. What is this phase? If he is able to drive the car, what is this phase? This is only he has skilled. He has been skilled, but he is still not competent. When I will feel he is competent, when he faces a situation, unfamiliar situation on the road, and he is able to come out of that. That is what is, then I can say he is competent. Not only only knowing driving, but he should also be able to apply. That is important. This is what is your competency-based education with this. And same thing happens with the students in the class. Every students are different. We fix the goal, and there should be a minimum goal, how much he has to know, and he have to demonstrate it. In the real life situation also he has to apply. Then we can say my student is fit for the next class. Minimum, I'm not talking about everything he should know, but there should be, because end of one class is the beginning of the next class. Whatever we are living in the first, suppose class 3, the starting will be from there. So we should fix something, and how we can fix it is from this pedagogy, our learning outcome, learning objective. We have to make our learning objective or learning outcome in such a way. I can show you the next slide. Outcome-based approach, learning objective and learning outcome. Are they same? Or what is the difference between learning objective and learning outcome? Anyone? Learning objective and learning outcome, are they same or there is some difference? Okay, learn.
Let us discuss at first learning objective.
Yes, sir.
Before teaching the students, it should be the duty of the teachers to decide the teaching materials, whatever they are going to teach the students. Then after, I'm talking about learning outcomes, whatever I teach the students, whether they are going to get understand the same topic, the same thoughts I have given to them, whether they are able to get understand or not, whether they are improving in that particular topic or not. So these things are very important from the side of the students, and only on the basis of this, teachers will get understand. So whether their purpose is going to be fulfilled or completed or not.
Yes.
So these are the differences between these two things according to me.
And so well said, sir. Learning objective and learning outcome. Actually, if you see, whatever we fix the learning objective, we require the learning outcome as the same thing. Are you getting me? Whatever I fix the goal, that the student has to do this. In learning outcome also, we need the same thing back. The student should now be learned with that. So what is the difference? The difference is that learning objective are fixed before the start of the lesson. And learning outcome is after completing the session, but the matter is same in between. So who link them? How we link these two things, learning objective and learning outcome, how we link? So who will link? And one more thing clear in competency-based education, whatever objective and learning outcome is fixed, it should be shared with everyone. It's not that teacher should know and students should not know. Parents should not know. All the three people should know this about your learning objective as well as learning outcome. They should also know how much I should learn and what should I learn. The way should be different. Way may be different. They can learn in different ways, but your objective and your outcome should be fixed. Objective is fixed and this is achieved. Outcome is achieved. And in between links, teacher links by the different strategy, what is called as pedagogies. So, everybody knows different students require different strategy of learning and their abilities of every subjects are different. So we should always make a question, or we should always frame for assessment also, there should be a different set of question for every student. And there should be not only annual exam or half-yearly exam like our system. There should be a periodic test. What is the advantage? If the gap between learning objective and learning outcome becomes more, then the student is not able to cope up and they give up and they are in a stressful situation. That is what is happening. So how to build fill this gap, how to minimize the gap between learning objective and learning outcome. That is important and this can be done with the lesson planning. Planning should be efficient. And regarding your learning outcome and learning objective for every classes in every subject, CBSE has already set in the curriculum. It is already available in the competency-based education circular. So if you go through, you will find every activities, how you are going to do, everything is there. They have fixed how much they should know in each subject. That is already there. So, and what happens actually if we don't judge it properly? If we are assessing the student at the end or after 6 months, and we come to know a student to samjha nahi yahan par, then what will happen? We don't have the time for bridging the gap. And again, the student is promoting in the next class with that gap. And again, the gap is being widened up and it becomes a difficult. And this is the reason why assessment is needed time to time. Why we should give a feedback to the student in every periodic. We keep on assessing it, every activities, whatever we are doing, whatever we are giving, whatever we are expecting, always we give the feedback and then and there only we are improving by giving the feedback. And this is the importance of the periodic test. And this periodic test doesn't mean that pen and paper test. It can be in any form. You can judge the student anywhere, outside school, inside school. It's not related to your classroom teaching. It can be anywhere you can find the student, because some students learn many things, because every student's backgrounds are different. If they come from some students, they come from, suppose, weaving background. They know about many things about textiles and all. So that student needs less thing to be given from that if you're teaching the chapter of textiles or the fiber and all. So this happens with everyone. So our pedagogy will be in such a way that every student should have a different way to teach. That is what is the linking between learning objective and your learning outcome. Now here, what is our role of the teacher to achieve this thing? So if you read that, many things are inspire them to seek knowledge. We will make a student to seek knowledge rather than take the knowledge. The student should know how they can learn. We are making them independent. The motto is to make them independent and give them a freedom to learn. They can learn in peer, and most important is nowadays experiential learning. What is experiential learning? It is learning by doing and then reflecting. And I think everybody will agree, what we do, we retain much rather than reading or listening. Is it, I'm true or not? Whatever we do, we retain for the longer time. Retention is more when we do. So this experiential learning will help you, help the student to retain the matter for a long time. And we have a complaint also every time when we teach and all, that students are not active. They are not listening. They are less restless and all in the class. So this thing we can do by the experiential learning. We can give them the tool. We can give them the tool, and they can we can say how much things you can do in this tool. इससे कितने तरह का use कर सकते हैं. We can teach one, but you will find that they will give you different ideas. Even in the designing and all, if we give them, draw this design, and if we don't fix that यही design बनाना है, then what you feel? You will get varieties of design. 1 minute में बन जाता है बच्चों से, because we are giving freedom. But if you are saying नहीं, ऐसा ही बनाना है, then they don't take interest, because everybody's abilities are different, their interest is different. So to develop the interest among the student, this is what, and this critical thinking is developed when you give them the freedom to analyze the things. And we have read a Thirsty Crow story also. What was that? It was totally based on critical thinking. बच्चे में जो पढ़े थे बचपन में, Thirsty Crow. He wanted to drink the water. And what did he do? No one was there to help. So he got the idea. So this is what is critical thinking arise when you give them the freedom. So this is what we have to do with the student. And I agree that it's not possible so much, but at least we can take a step. And for critical thinking, if you have gone through the Diksha app, I think everybody is using. Every week we get 5 questions for teachers as well as students, and that is only for the development of a critical thinking, and it is based on competence-based Diksha. And we are well aware with the Diksha apps nowadays. So there also you can get. And peer-to-peer learning is also very important. What are the advantages of peer-to-peer learning? Peer-to-peer learning students ke beech mein. Because when we say, sometimes they feel humiliating. But if the feedback is given by the student, they don't feel humiliating, but they learn. So these are the advantages when they discuss the thing and all. So these are the, and then layered curriculum. What is the layered curriculum? Why we should use the layered curriculum? It is a curriculum based on capsule learning. Layered curriculum. Simple to, we are going from the simple one by one, we are going in a layer and layered form. And and this is a capsule learning system. What is capsule learning? What is the meaning of capsule learning? Capsule, anybody? It's something related to the medicine only. So our study is also related to the medicine only. Capsule everybody has seen. So it is related like a capsule. Each disease has a different capsule. You cannot, with one capsule, you cannot treat everyone. Everybody has a different capsule for a different diseases or whatever you say. So similarly, you cannot teach student with the same pedagogy strategy. We have to make our learning process in a capsule manner. We have to design different activities for different students. That is what is called as capsule learning. Now, to understand the relationship between competency-based education and learning outcome, how and what are the things you can see in this? What is it that the student should be able to do after student has undergone the learning process? We have taught. We have completed our topic, whatever we were supposed to do. We are teaching, we have taught everything. Now, what is our expectation? How we should know each student has done? So that is come under your demonstration. The student will demonstrate and they will apply. That is what is the student. Then second part, what are the classroom transaction? Classroom transaction means whatever you have fixed, jo padhana hai, whatever I want to teach, how I will teach. What are the activities I should introduce in teaching this things, or whatever the learning was there, objective was fixed by us. So that is here what are the classroom transaction. Activities will, and that is by activities only, and these are already decided by the CBSEs and all pedagogies are there in the site. You can have it from there, and everybody knows if we are planning the activities in the proper manner, if our planning is good, student will definitely learn more, and he will be able to. And most part is if we are able to create interest among the student will automatically learn by themselves. So only the motto of our planning is how to create the interest among the student. That is decided by the student only. We have to watch the student, what is their need, and according to the need, we have to plan the activities. Then what is the student needs, and they will demonstrate and all, and everything is in your curriculum, you can get from there. How will the teacher check the learning of, how will the student demonstrate at learning? That is your assessment. How will the teacher check the learning? Check the learning is your assessment. Now, that is, again, our assessment will be designed in such a way that whatever you feel the student should know, that will be in your assessment paper, and you will be able to assess them. And that is by how will the teacher know? Now the teacher, how I will come to know? And that is by criterion reference test. Now the thing is, what is criterion reference testing? That is important nowadays, because competency-based education, the assessment pattern will be that only, criterion referencing testing. So anybody knows about it, criterion reference testing? Anybody? See, criterion reference testing, our traditional system, we always test among the students. We are testing between the, competition is always in between the students. So whatever test is derived, whatever test we are assigning, it is always the comparison between the students. But this criterion reference testing is not a test between the student, it is within themselves. What is the improvement of that particular child? That we are testing in this criterion referencing test. This is what is the difference between normal testing and the criterion reference testing. The students are judged with his performance only. He was able to do this much. Did he improve or not? So that is testing of a student within his improvement. It's nothing among the total student in the class. So this is for every student we are testing in different manner, and testing goes within himself. Does the student is improving with my strategy of teaching or not? If not, what should we do? We should change ourselves. We should change the strategy of teaching, so that, because ultimate aim is to make a student learner, not only acquiring the knowledge. He should be competent. So this is what is, and overall, if you sum up everything, if every judgment is over, that means we have completed our competence-based education. This is what is the competency-based education's testing and learning outcome and your thing. Now, components of the competency, and this you have already, we have talked about. It is a knowledge, skills, and ability. That is only what is competency. Now, anybody, abilities and skill, any difference between abilities and skill? What is the difference between this abilities and the skill?
You want to raise your question?
Abilities and skill.
So what is the difference between ability and skill? Skill is a technique
to solve the problems, but abilities is an energy to capacity to do or solve the problems in easy way.
Okay, thank you, sir. The major difference, abilities and skill, is that abilities are the thing we are born with. We are born with abilities. Every child is born with some different abilities. Some has this ability, some have that abilities, and skilled is acquired. We are making them acquire the skilled in a different task. Some particular task, we are making him skilled. Abilities they are born. So we should understand, if we understand the abilities of the child and if we guide in the same direction, that will be more beneficial than guiding in same way. This is what is a abilities and skills major difference. And now, what is the difference between competence and skill? If I am skilled, do you think we are competent? Or how, if we go for any interview, or for anybody goes for any interviews and all, how we are judged? Are we judged by the skilled or we are judged by the competent? Skilled means we are mastered in one particular thing. That is called skill. We can have many skills. We may not have many skills. We can have one skill. I'm very good in carpentry. That is my skill. I'm very good in this, but I'm not good in that is skill. What is competent? And do we need a competent or we need a skilled one? If we want to organize an interview or we want to ask what we want. If I am very skilled in one thing, or I have a different skill, but if I'm not able to perform, I know everything, but I'm not able to perform, will I be selected or will I select that student? So this is what is the difference between being a skilled and being a competent. If I am competent, I will be able to use my abilities. I am able to use the skilled. And if I am able to use in every situation, that means I am a competent. So skill plus knowledge plus abilities and the way I am using, that is attitude. That is also important. The way I use. So when these all things are to work together, then we perform a task very effectively and efficiently. And we are now a competent. That is now it's I think everybody will understand this traditional versus competency-based education. Everything is that passive. Now what we are doing? Passive and active. Fragmented curriculum, and this is integrated curriculum. I think everybody know. Nowadays, ICT is being used in every field. That is also integration. Integration means using the knowledge of one field with another. We are combining all the subject together and we can use it. That is integrated learning together. And the best example is every subject teacher, every subject is linked with computer nowadays. We cannot survive without ICT. That is also integrated. Facts and memorization. Here we are competence based is always for the higher order thinking. We are developing the thinking skill of the students. We are not giving a spoon feed to them. School centered and society centered. This we will discuss. School centered, and so now competence based education is not happening in the school itself. We are going for the society also. In the society, what is his performance? How is performing? That also matters in this competence education system. It's not that only we are watching in the school. So this is now moreover, we are now talking about the 21st century skills. And the main motto of NEP is to imbibe 21st century skills in each and every student so that he can compete not only in India, but in the global world. That is what is 21st century. That is 4 C's. 4 C's. Critical thinking. We have already talked about. And critical thinking's activities are also in the CBSE curriculum. How to improve the critical thinking. Many activities are there. Riddles and all, many things are there. Bujo to jano. These are the activities in the curriculum. And innovation. Innovation is very important. Why innovation in education? Why we want innovation in education? Anybody? Why innovation in education? Everywhere innovation is there. Even television, fridge, everything. Latest we are going on innovating. But what is the main important part in innovation in education? Why? Anybody?
Nobody else?
To okay, anyway.
Once again, raise your question.
Innovation. Why innovation is important in education?
Innovation actually gives some ideas or inspires or according, I think it encourages to communicate the ideas of the person to new things, something or just because it
create interest
to give us the education actually for the kids or the children. Yeah. It is.
Okay.
According.
Yes. Actually, anytime you will feel, and same thing happens in education also. Innovation maintains the interest. If there is no innovation in any of the field, we lose interest. So to keep the interest of the child, even we need the innovation in education. And literally skill everybody knows about. And then flexibility and adaptability is important here. Why we want to be flexible? Why? What is this flexibility and adaptability? Flipped classroom. What is flipped classroom? These are the things which is needed here. Flexible. Why we should be flexible in it when we go for a teaching? Again, the matter is same. Every student is different. If you're not flexible, we will not be able to adjust. So we should always observe the student's needs. We will always observe what the student needs, what is the demand of the student, each student. And we should be flexible in framing our planning. That is your strategy of teaching. So time is short. I will just now see this one. This to everybody agree. If we are using the same, and same thing happens in the class also. It is a carton, but can we judge with the same thing? Every student cannot be judged equally. And this is what the competency-based education is removing all this. We are not judging with the same question paper. This is what is, can fish fly? Can climb the tree? No. A monkey can climb very fast. So same thing happens. Students are off. Okay. Now let's discuss, time is very short. Just benefits. What are the benefits? And then we will conclude it. Student-centered approach. We are planning everything. We are only for the student. That is only student-centered approach. Flexibility. Achieving proficiency, not forcing them to do the work. We are timely support and feedback to the student. Time to time, we are giving feedback. Yahan theek karo, yahan ye chahiye. This is all the thing. Promote one-to-one learning, has a transparent grading system. There should be transparent grading system, means everything should be transparent. Even student and even teacher, everyone should know what they have to learn and how they will learn. That is different. But what is the learning objective? क्या पढ़ना है, that is only called as transparent grading system. When I will be getting a certified, how much I should do, that is what is transparent grading system. And then to implement this, what challenges we will face, that is more important. कुछ भी शुरू करने के लिए we have to face the challenges. So what are the challenges we are going to face to implement all this thing? Anyone? Most, I think the challenges will be from the society. They want a good marks, actually. But by doing this, you're not going to give the good marks and all. Good marks, they want a good degree, they want a good college, they want a good job. So we have to face the challenges with the society when we are going to start all these things. And so anyone want to ask anything? Because time is over, I want to conclude.
If anybody want to ask some questions before the presenter, you can ask. You are the last and the challenges. So I want to say something as
Yes,
well as
sir.
I
Yes,
want
sir.
to mention for you something also.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Why not?
Challenges, of course, nowadays with the demand in society, actually according to future social status, so many things are there. We also promote our children or students to be something in your life, your future for the settlement of your
Yes,
life.
sir. Yes, sir. Why not? Yes, sir.
And of course, it is their desire also to be something. So let it definitely. And there should be,
There
of
should
course.
be, of course.
But beside of these, we must be very careful regarding their basic things or knowledge and something that is creative and innovative.
Yes.
Both are things.
Yes, sir.
That they must have.
They must
Of
have.
course, there should be. They must be in their future. But besides of this, these things also should be in there. First of all, and second, I want to, according to your opinion, what should be? It was mine. According to your opinion, what should be there? If some more ideas, we would like to welcome.
That is only, sir, we have to motivate them. That is, I think you also wanted to say, before starting anything, we should also motivate and we should be well prepared to face the challenge. Our curriculum, and we should be convincing also, and we should give it also.
Yeah, of course.
That is what is important to face the challenge.
We should motivate them through for well prepared.
And for that, we require our preparation.
We should be careful also regarding.
Yes, sir. And we should be prepared. That is, our preparation is required
Thanks.
from our side. Thank you, sir. So much you have taken that. And lastly, I want to say, if a child can't learn the way we teach, we should teach them the way they learn. Thank you.
Now, many thanks to Mrs. Poonam Singh from DAV for presenting her the best topic focusing on competency-based education. सहोदिया और आनंदराम विद्यालय आपका सदा आभारी रहेगा। आपके इस प्रेजेंटेशन से हम लोगों ने बहुत कुछ सीखा और अभी के बाद ठीक 2 बजे से हमारा 3rd सेशन चालू होगा और आप सभी लोग अपने स्थान पे पुनः 15 मिनट पहले इस सभागार में आ जाएंगे। धन्यवाद।